Once upon a time in a small town, there lived a woman named Susan. For years, she had been the backbone of her family, silently shouldering the financial burdens that came with raising her two younger siblings and supporting her aging parents. From paying the mortgage to covering the monthly bills, Susan had become the invisible thread that held their lives together. Despite her sacrifices, Susan often felt unappreciated. Her family took her support for granted, expecting her to always be there, always ready to help. They rarely acknowledged her hard work, and when they did, it was often accompanied by complaints about how little they had or how much they needed. One evening, after a particularly exhausting day at work, Susan finally reached her breaking point. As her family gathered around the dinner table, she mustered the courage to speak up. "I can't do this anymore," she said, her voice trembling. "I've been carrying all of you for too long. I need to say no." The room fell silent, and then her family erupted in anger. "How dare you?" her brother shouted. "You're abandoning us." Her parents chimed in, accusing her of being selfish and ungrateful. In that moment, Susan felt a weight lift off her shoulders, but it was quickly replaced by the sting of betrayal. "Fine," she said, her heart racing. "If that's how you feel, then maybe I should just leave." With that, she packed a few belongings and walked out the door, leaving her family in shock. Days turned into weeks, and Susan found solace in her newfound freedom. She moved into a small apartment, decorated it with her favorite things, and began to rediscover herself. She took up painting, joined a local book club, and even started a small garden on her balcony. For the first time in years, she felt light and happy. Meanwhile, her family quickly realized the gravity of their words. They had always relied on Susan for everything, from the Netflix subscription to the power bill. As the days passed, they began to receive notices about overdue payments. The electricity bill was the first to arrive, warning them of imminent disconnection. Panic set in as they scrambled to figure out how to manage without Susan's financial support. Desperate, they reached out to her, but Susan had already made up her mind. She was done being the family's safety net. After a few days of silence, her mother finally called, her voice trembling with regret. "Susan, we're sorry. We didn't mean what we said. Please come back. We need you." But Susan stood firm. "You had your chance to appreciate me, and you chose to push me away. I'm not coming back to that." As the lights flickered and the house grew dark, her family sat in the dimness, realizing that they had taken her for granted. They had lost not just a provider, but a sister and daughter who had always been there for them. In her new life, Susan thrived. She learned to say no without guilt and to prioritize her own happiness. She found joy in the little things and built a community of friends who valued her for who she was, not what she could provide. Months later, as she painted in her garden, she felt a sense of peace wash over her. She had finally broken free from the chains of obligation and had become the person she was always meant to be. And though her family may have tried to disown her, she had discovered the power of self-love and independence, a treasure far more valuable than any financial support she had ever given.